Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. It's a comic book review, but I am doing it on my phone and out while I'm outside. So, Bane Conquest #1 was the comic that got the most votes. I did a video a few days ago where I asked among 3 comic books which one you guys would like to see me review. So Bane Conquest ended up being the one who got the most votes, and that's cool. I've been wanting to read this book. I just read it, and I thought it was really good. It's also really violent, though. It's kind of like the story obviously is different, but it has a lot of action, not unlike something like the movie Die Hard, where there's one guy just pummeling lots and lots of enemies. So it's pretty good, though. Bane's the title character, and he's very prominent throughout. So this book was $3.99. I know a lot of the Rebirth books are $2.99, but $3.99 wasn't bad. It's actually a pretty good length for a modern comic. So well, I'll get into who wrote it here in a sec, but the writer and the writer is Chuck Dixon, but the guy who did the art throughout also did the cover, and same for the colorist, and they are right here. So Chuck Dixon's the writer, Graham Nolan is the artist, Gregory Wright did the colors, and so on, but they also did the cover. So the cover's pretty cool. It's kind of dynamic. It's Bane's mask, and you can see a burning city in the background, so that's kind of ominous. That doesn't actually happen in this story. So the story itself's pretty cool. There's a ship, it's a cargo ship, and it's out at sea, and it's coming in towards Gotham. And Bane rolls up with his crew, and he has a couple guys who are kind of introduced as like his team. Like they have code names, like one of them's named Zombie, one of them's named Trog. But you see one's firing the gun, and they roll up along the big cargo ship, they're firing on it, and Bane jumps on board. So that's awesome. They're asking if he wants help, and he's like, no, I got this, and he goes on board. It's pretty cool. He starts right off, and the whole book is like this. So it's rated teen, and you can get away with more in a comic book that's rated teen than you can in a PG-13 movie. So he kicks this guy and knocks him out and shoots a couple guys. And then this one part I thought was pretty cool, and they use this throughout. There's this drone that one of his henchmen uses. So the drone's kind of always prominent. I thought that was really cool. I mean, this book came out in 2017, so it's nice to have something really modern in it. And the drone's really helpful throughout. So the skipper guy tries to shoot Bane and doesn't succeed. And this is what I'm talking about. This book's rated teen, and Bane just straight up slices this guy's hand off. So that's pretty gruesome. And then we get some advertising, and so Bane can talk to the drone, and then he can get information from his guys throughout. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it turns out the cargo ship was carrying all kinds of illegal weapons and bombs and stuff, and it was headed to Gotham. So Bane's kind of doing a Batman sort of thing where he's protecting Gotham, and they haven't really explained why yet. So they get some information on the papers, and they're going to go and try and figure out who in Gotham was going to buy the weapons. So, and then they sink the cargo ship. They don't take any of the stuff. As far as I can tell, they just sink it. So that's kind of cool. And then you see they head back to Gotham. So this scene here is a little weird, but it's actually really important. So it's Bane is in the shower, and I was kind of like, why are they showing that, And it's kind of horrible, actually. I'll just show it. But you see Bane's in the shower, and he is talking, and then he's looking at the drain, and then he essentially has a flashback to when he was a kid, or at least a young person, and he's in the shower there, and the guy comes in with a knife, and it's implied something bad happens, and he gets mad and hits the wall. So the dialogue and everything helps it fit, but this is handled really well. This is really good writing. I have to give it to Chuck Dixon for handling something like that really well, and it really made me more invested in the character Bane than I would have been if he was just a big tough guy that went around and beat up people. So then, yeah, he moves on, and he's still got his teddy bear from that scene where he was a child. He still remembers his childhood and stuff. And he's talking to his crew. He's got this whole command center, not unlike Batman. There are a lot of parallels. And he's talking to his team, that zombie there. Oh, and they're like, how do we find out who the weapons we're going to go to, and who do we ask? And he says, everyone. So there's a montage of him beating up and drowning and torturing people to get the information. Like, his methods are pretty crude. So eventually he gets the guy who knows something, and the drone scans him while he's talking, and the drone can tell whether he's telling the truth or not. And then we get a big ad for Injustice 2, because it's DC, and they gotta spam us with Injustice 2. I mean, it's a cool game and comic, but man. Alright. And so he takes the guy with him, and they go to the place, but the cops are already there, and they've arrested the guy they were there to get. And so the police take him away. Oh, and it turns out that Batman was there. That's who tipped off the police. So they're like, oh man, now we got Batman involved in all this. So they're not happy about that. And then we go to the courthouse, and they bail out the dude, actually. It's implied that Bane does. But in any case, it's this guy for now. He bails him out, and then they just take him prisoner themselves and are questioning him. Oh yeah, it is Bane. I remember now. So they're questioning him, and then Bane comes in, and he does his trademark move. He grabs a tied-up guy by the throat and slams him underwater. And it's like, was that even necessary? And then he gets the information from him, and then they go to another place. So the whole book is basically a step-by-step process of find someone, torture them, get the information, go to that place, torture those people. But Bane kind of gets his comeuppance here. He gets shocked in the back while they're raiding this other place, and the drone gets shot down, which is sad because they'd named it. It was named Sergio. Let's go. The drone's dead. So everything's kind of gone to crap on this mission. And then the main bad guy, or at least the one they've been alluding to, is introduced, and he is named Damocles. So that's him there. And he's like, I've got you, Bane. So we get an ad for, let's see, Wonder Woman, a Frank Cho statue, signed by Frank Cho. Alright, I thought they took Frank Cho off of Wonder Woman. That was a whole controversy. Alright, another Injustice 2 ad. I love DC. Alright, so it's a good comic. It's really solidly written. The art's actually really good. There were a few panels I thought were a little kind of weak. Most of them are good. Like, these are all solid. There were a few. I'm worried about my battery running out. Well, I guess they're not too bad. None of them are too terrible, really. You know, it's a good book. It's a #1, so it should be, right? But there's a lot of weak books out there. So basically my recommendation, see that this panel I thought was kind of lame just because there's no background. Like, this was okay, you know, when it was on cheap newsprint. And even back in the olden days, they had better backgrounds. So that's just lazy. That is lazy. But it's just one panel. It's okay. So overall, yeah, if you like hardcore kind of violent stuff like this, yeah, definitely recommend it. It's good for that. For myself, I don't know. I've got the first 3 or 4 issues of it, though, so I'm going to go ahead and keep reading it and reviewing it. I like Batman's methods better than Bane's methods, so that's my take on it. Overall, though, if you like that kind of thing, give it a read. It wasn't bad. It was, you know, it was good for what it is. Alright, that's all for now. This was kind of a different sort of review, so let me know down in the comments. But, you know, this is the only camera I've got, so digital comics I can do on my computer, but, you know, regular